Evening. So you may or may not have seen the news that after a week or two of talking about the possibility, the idea of a coalition, rainbow coalition at the town hall is not going to happen. I will say from the off that I think it's important to note that Councillor Shaz Nawaz has been open with people straight away to say it's not going to happen. He could have been like someone, let the whole theatre carry on until next week, but I think it's much better to let people know the reality of a situation ASAP. It's been written about in the Peterborough Telegraph, so do have a read on their website. I've had a few people contact me as well, those in the know, and to be honest, it's very much similar to what suggestions were when the idea was first touted, that just the idea of working for some of the councillors, Labour, and maybe one or two of the Greens, just working with some of the other people, it's just not feasible, and it's not simply about having differing views on things and not being able to work together or for the benefit of Peterborough. It's literally some of the opposition councillors, they are just not very nice from my own experience. But equally, there was a term used about vested interests of certain opposition councillors. Now, none of us really know exactly what that means. From my point of view, for example, I would suggest that maybe there's a possibility there's been some agreements between the Conservatives and Warrington First previously, because don't forget, Warrington First have been holding up and supporting the Conservatives now for 3 years. So in order to do that, I mean, it wasn't just about maybe giving them mayorships and all that sort of stuff. Maybe there was other things around it, because I don't know if you remember, but there was a report 2018, 2019, it was just announced that there was going to be a new sports centre in Warrington, and it was going to have a swimming pool and football, 5G pitches, and all singing, all dancing. And I remember thinking at the time, where the hell's that come from? And why is it in Warrington? Why is it not in Gunthorpe? Why is it not in Walton? Why is it not in Paston? And where was the consultation? I never, because I was a councillor at the time, I didn't see any consultation about my views, as a ward that neighboured, was adjacent to Warrington. So I did think that was a bit suspicious. But anyway, and if Labour can't secure support, because it's the same as solidarity within a union is only as strong as its level of solidarity amongst its members, then there's just no point starting it. So presumably it will mean now that we're going to have another Conservative administration. Would it be led by Wayne? Who knows? I mean, in theory, they could run it as a minority administration, unofficially no support from anybody, but obviously when it comes to the important votes, certain opposition councillors vote in a certain way, obviously still very independent, but just vote in a certain way, which means the Tories do get what they want. But so we could end up, Wayne Fitzgerald remains as leader of the Conservatives, and therefore the council gets all his extra money. The Foxes, the Warrington First lot, etc., they remain independent. But certain decisions then occur in the next year that maybe are more beneficial to certain areas and certain opposition councillors than others. But Labour will certainly have a job to do, which is to hold the Conservatives to account, because the bureaucrats are still in there, government's still got their eye on Peterborough, and there's still some serious decisions that need to be made regarding the finances. But unfortunately, the idea of a rainbow coalition for now, not happening.